Is Omar, and I like to continue on with my series about how much of a you know scumbag this guy is, and kind of like there's been a lot of information that's been divulged in these past few weeks to allow people to kind of grab their own opinions about whether it's he say, she say, or do you want to hear what he has said and go with that, or kind of like accept the truth for what it is. You know, it's hard coming up in the state, what I'm saying, where 20% of the people is in poverty, and that's got to be rough. So you got 211,000 children that's living, what I'm saying, where they need welfare in that state. And the fact that some person decided to take it upon themselves to grab a few million that could have been allocated to people that really need it. Because rich people don't know shit about, about struggling. Maybe they did, but when they was coming up. But I'm talking about today, they don't know nothing about that. And when you got people that's, 17% of people that like have at some point in the year, they have a how am I going to feed my children moment. You feel me? Regardless on whatever the decision making they did, we just talking about the here and now and what's going on. Yeah, if all of us if all of us chose the perfect mate, then this will be a hunky dory society where everybody is living sweet and with no issues. But that's not life. All right, some of us choose wrong, every day. You know what I'm saying? And you try your best to you try to amend that, you know what I'm saying? So a way to try to give you a lifeline is going to the state for a second and saying, you know, they have assistance. They say they got programs that they could try to get you back on the right path. So when a person decides to steal money from 211,000 children, right? 211,000 that's in the welfare system, right? That needs that just to eat. And we're not saying that they're eating the best meals. We talking about eating just to eat, whatever. Whether it's freaking spam and crap like that. It's 211,000 children that need just basic necessities in order to sustain life, right? Because we all deserve that in order to just live. You know what I'm saying? Eating, food, a necessity. You know what I'm saying? Poor people shouldn't be ignored. Poor people still are people. Whether people want to choose to ignore that fact. 211,000 children is a lot of children. I'm a dad. I don't know who's listening. There may be a dad, maybe a mom. And I don't know how they would feel if they was put in a situation where they couldn't provide any kind of food for their child. We haven't even touched on, education and whatnot, because the infrastructure down there is jacked up the way they only care if certain people actually make it, and the other is just, all right, you just gotta figure it out. If you don't figure it out, then hey, man, it's just, that's just your family is just gonna be behind, and hopefully if you have a kid and your kid's kid might figure it out. But in a lot of cases, that's not the case. You give somebody a pass that's willing to steal from that many children, then where are we in society? Like, it's hard that, the fact that, that you living in this time period, knowing that we have people that can get a pass for that, and okay, yeah, he white, and I guess that's the reason that he should get a pass. Oh yeah, he was a successful football. I'm one of the most hardcore football fans out here, right? I love football. But you think somebody should get a pass just because they was great at football? The core being of a person always shows they self. And we can't ignore what we see. And it'll be a total injustice. If I saw last week that a coach in Boston got drugged because he had an indiscretion, or he had a situation with a man's wife, or a couple of situations, and he did what he did, and I get that. What is wrong is wrong. And he committed a crime against that man. You know what I'm saying? And the man had two ways to get what they call that, when you do a wrong against a man, a husband, or whatever. He got two ways of dealing with it. He can deal with it as far as maybe, the ultimate, which is possibly taking your life, or this man decided to, just do the humiliation thing, and then, he's in a position where he can mess somebody's money up, and that's what he chose to do, right? And yet we still haven't seen the wife getting the same humiliation. But I guess, with that man and woman, it's going to be a, whatever penalty that man decides to do. But I saw that, and I saw the way a man was drugged, what I'm saying, and just all sorts of things was come out. And I'm not even defending what he did and what he didn't do, what I'm saying. But if you willing to have that same energy and put forth to that, and you see this guy that's on camera right now, this guy right here stole money, right? And he came up with some fluke ass, or I'm trying to not curse, but he came up with some reasoning talking about, there's no way that he would take that from people that's less fortunate and in need in his state. And the fact that was in October of 2021, that's what he said. You can go look it up, right? He got the tweets out there for anybody that wants to see the lies. And he said that to the people. And he said that with confidence that those texts that he did back in whatever year was it, 2018, 2019, that they wouldn't come out. And when those texts came out, and we seen what type of sociopath this man is, because that's what you are. When you do something like that, when you tell a lie of that kind of magnitude, that's what you are. We could dress it up however you want to dress it up, but that's what it is. You want to say narcissist, you could say sociopath, you could say whatever, but that's what it is. And he went ahead and said that to his own people. And see, the thing that people is saying is maybe because, it's probably a good majority of the people that's receiving the welfare benefits that's black, right? But you know what? Hate to break it to people, but it's trickled down. That affected multiple races. And his very own race, the 10%. that do receive those welfare benefits, that do need those welfare benefits, was affected. So that's what I'm saying. I know it's because people assuming it's it's just, he finessed all, just the black families, that it should just get swept under the rug. But he took it from all the races in that community. Every race, from black to white to Hispanic to Asian, every one of those races, he grabbed the money from. And if you was a family and you had that situation where you was stressed out and you ain't know what you was going to do, and you was even contemplating doing the worst case scenario just so you can get food to your family. I don't know about y'all, man, but that's not a good individual, man. That's not a good individual, and you ain't gonna gloss it over. And I don't think nobody should let this slide under no circumstances. This is one of the they said this is one of the biggest fraud cases in Mississippi history. Well, y'all gotta show it then. Y'all gotta show it. If it's that big of a fraud job, of a steal job that y'all said, and y'all put it out there, well then show it. Fullest extent of the law. That's what I would see if they was my complexion. If they was a brown complexion guy, definitely. We would have already seen him in a jumpsuit. I need to see the same thing. And the thing I'm going to leave on is this. What does Proverbs say? Right? What does the Bible say about robbing the poor? Right? I know people out here not as religious as we used to be. A lot of people live a certain way. I'm not a perfect man. But it says this. Proverbs 22, verse 22, 23. Do not rob the poor, because he who is poor will crush the afflicted at the gate. For the Lord will plead their case and rob of life those who rob them. So, everybody gonna feel how they feel. You feel me? And I feel that somebody should, somebody will address this. Even like I said, if he weasels his way out of catching any charges, then at the end of the day, eventually it will come a day where he'll meet some vengeance for the people that he did harm. And we can only hope that it's hard. Nothing can get fixed overnight. You feel me? And there's a lot of corruption and stuff that's been going on for them to find themselves in a situation where families get affected the way that they did. But I don't think that no family should get affected in a manner where you don't get nothing to eat. And you don't get nothing to eat because somebody decided to build something that was obsolete. You feel me? And like I said, I'm a sports guy and I like sports. But it's like, if you telling me build this sports thing or feed these 50 to 100 families, everybody's going to say feed the 50 to 100 families except this man right here that's on camera. So that's just my take on it. Just my 2 cents. All right. Thank you for listening.